Hi everybody, how are you doing? Welcome to IELTS Breakthrough. The Task 2 writing question is an essay. It's a very important part of your Task 2 score, and the good news is that there are a few rock-solid strategies that you can use and apply them. They will put you on the path to a great score. In other videos, I've talked about the specific strategies. One way to see how it all works is to go through a sample Task 2 answer. And that's what we're going to do in this video. Follow me as I take you through a whole Task 2 answer so that you completely understand how the strategies work in terms of brainstorming your ideas, building a clear structure of paragraphs to your essay, and using connective words within the paragraph to make it nice and easy to read for your examiner. This is a great video, so watch through to the end with me.
Hey there, IELTS warriors! IELTS Breakthrough and achieve success!
Thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name's David Bourne. I am your IELTS coach from IELTS Breakthrough. IELTS Breakthrough is a channel that helps you get a high score in IELTS so that you can study at an international university and progress in your career. IELTS Breakthrough has really valuable videos where you can learn about the academic, general training and even life skills versions of IELTS. So make sure that you subscribe to the channel and watch all of the videos to get the real strategies that work. Let's get started and look at the Task 2 question that I'm going to go through with you. This one is all about space exploration, but more specifically traveling to Mars. Here is the topic. In recent years, there has been increased attention on exploring space and even sending humans to Mars. However, there are so many important and urgent problems here on Earth, and there should be more focus on fixing these issues. To what extent do you agree? So we have the question now. Step number 1 is to identify the key words in the question so we really know what the question is asking us. Now, I would suggest here, pause the video, look at the question, and then think to yourself, what are the key words? This should be pretty easy, but here are the keywords. I've put them in bold here. I won't read out the question again, you can just look at them. You probably got them yourself anyway. The good news is that identifying those keywords is really not too difficult. Now, the next thing that we need to do is get our main ideas. Here, remember, you need to have 2 main ideas. So you're going to analyze the question and separate it into main idea number 1 and main idea number 2. This is to what extent do you agree? So naturally we're going to have main idea number 1, which would be for, and then the other main idea would be reasons against. Now be careful here, this is not reasons for space exploration and reasons against space exploration. Well, it is, but space exploration is a bit too general. Remember, the key words in the question relate to actually sending humans to Mars. So when you brainstorm your ideas, you need to think about the benefits of sending humans to Mars and, of course, the drawbacks of this. So I brainstormed a couple of ideas here. I brainstormed 2 points to support sending humans to Mars. The first point is that in the long term, human beings probably will need to be able to live in space and even live on another planet. And the second point is that space exploration, trying to go to Mars, will result in innovation and advanced learning. Now, of course, you can think of completely different ideas. It doesn't matter. As long as your ideas directly connect to the key words of the question, then you'll be fine. Main idea number 2 is the against side, the problems of sending humans to Mars. The first point is that it is a very dangerous project. The second point is the high cost. Now, this is a little tip here, extra tip for you. If you cannot think of any supporting points, it's always good to follow the money. Is there a financial advantage or disadvantage that you can use as one of your supporting points? And then the last point I have is that it's going to take a long time to have developed the technology to actually travel to Mars. So we have our main ideas and our supporting points. However, we need to write the introduction. Of course, your opening paragraph in a task 2 answer will be the introduction. Remember, in the introduction, you need to describe the problem in your own words and then give a thesis statement. Now, by describing the problem, you have to look at those key words in the topic of the question and then do a bit of critical thinking to describe what issue or problem there is that we're going to discuss. Here is how I wrote the introduction. Without getting too negative, it can be argued that there are many important issues that humanity needs to deal with on Earth, ranging from conflict, poverty, and climate change. These issues are so important and urgent that it seems really superfluous to discuss space exploration to Mars. In this essay, I will discuss whether it really is worth talking about such a difficult project. So that's the introduction. Now we have to go into main paragraph 1. We've already brainstormed the supporting points we need and we know what the main idea is, so we just have to write it out with some explanation. Remember to start your main paragraph with the topic sentence. It goes like this. Let's start by looking at the reasons why space exploration to Mars could be a valuable endeavour. Firstly, in the extreme long term, it is probably true that humanity will need to live outside our planet if we are to survive. For example, the Earth could be hit by an asteroid. Ultimately, the Sun will explode and destroy planet Earth. Another point is that it will advance learning and innovation. Space exploration forces us to confront difficult problems and find solutions to them. So that's main paragraph 1. Notice that you have the linking phrases that take the reader from the topic sentence to point 1 and point 2. As you can see in this paragraph, I've used firstly, another point is that. Okay, so the next paragraph, this is main paragraph number 2. I know it's the third paragraph, but I call it main paragraph number 2 because it addresses the main idea of number 2, the second main idea. And in this case, of course, it's going to be the against side, why traveling to Mars is not a good idea. The structure is exactly the same, so start off with your topic sentence. There are also significant reasons why spending energy on expeditions to Mars are not of paramount significance in today's world. Firstly, there is the obvious point that it is very dangerous for the people involved. In fact, the first people who travel to Mars could well die in the attempt, and they certainly have no chance of returning to Earth. Secondly, there is the prohibitive cost, which is, from an investor's point of view, unlikely to yield any kind of return soon. Overlapping these two reasons is the fact that it will take generations to get to the point where we have the ability to send humans to Mars. Now, of course, we could go on, but this is only a 40-minute essay that you have to write in the IELTS test, so this is enough for the main paragraphs. We've written most of it, now we just need the conclusion. Remember that in the conclusion you need to include your opinion and then close the essay with a suggestion. Here we go then. I would generally agree that spending valuable resources on sending people to Mars is not the main issue at hand. However, it is also not something that needs to be prohibited. When it comes to government policy, they should not be allocating budgets to this kind of project. But if private institutions are interested, then there's nothing to stop them. And there you have it. Abracadabra, that is the full essay. Introduction, main idea number 1 as a paragraph, main idea number 2 as a paragraph, and then the conclusion. Note also how the linking phrases are used inside the paragraphs to give a nice clear structure from start to finish. That's how you write a Task 2 essay. Now, let me know in the comments, do you have any problems with Task 2? How can I help you prepare for the Task 2 essay question of IELTS? I'm here to help you, so let me know what kind of help you need in the comments section. And of course, if you're watching this video for first time at IELTS Breakthrough, remember that there are so many other videos on writing and the Task 2 question. So check those out, and I'll put a card right here for the next video that you can jump into now. Thanks for watching through to the end, and I'll see you in the next video. In the meantime, have a great morning, afternoon, evening, weekend or week, whatever you're doing. Bye-bye.